What's going on, guys? Fuller here from Custom Offsets, Steve in the YouTube with
Junior from Custom Offsets as well.
All right, and today we're bringing you the top 5 wheels that changed the course of truck history.
Boom, boom, boom.
Very dramatic intro, but we're actually kicking things off with the Rockstar 1. And
but wait, don't leave quite yet.
Yes, don't click off the video because you're probably like, oh, the Rockstar, nobody likes that. But the thing is, when the Rockstar 1 came out, it literally did kind of change the way that people did wheels and do wheels today, because they were one of the first companies to come out that you could then remove pieces from your wheels and paint them to match your truck. You could pull out the star in the center, you get that, like custom painted whatever color you want, and that was really like the beginning of customization for wheels.
Well, then not only that, but the sizes as well that they offered. Before that, it was like people getting welds in 15s and 16s, right? Because like that's what you'd put on your K1500 because it fit over the brakes. Well, XD came out with these in like 17s and I think 18s, and 18s were huge at the time. You know, that was a
18s were massive.
Big wheel to run.
An 18x9 was like, oh dang, like 9 wides, huh?
Maybe it's a negative offset, and then whoo, you're really pushing it.
And the Rockstar was literally on every Jeep in America. They got so popular that Rockstar basically took all the capital they made and they're like, let's make it for everything. They started making the Rockstar for cars.
I've seen it on Camaros.
And like they just kept going wild with it, and then people put it on trucks, Jeeps, cars, everything. And they've just since then have created newer and more up-to-date versions. We're up to the Rockstar 3 now, which now has different spokes even. You can get like a split spoke or the classic thick spoke, and again, it's all removable. And
different colors.
Yeah, and they just offer it in a lot more options now, obviously, than they used to. But it's been years now since the Rockstar 1 came out, and they're still rolling strong with it.
I just saw one yesterday.
And like, for as much hate as they get, I still see them.
Yeah.
People are still using them.
I don't know if it's all the older people who have like known about them for a little while and they're like, oh, I just got a new truck. I knew about these back in the day. I'm gonna run them again because I got a new one. I don't know, but I keep seeing them.
And they still look good on Jeeps. I'm not afraid to say I like them on a Jeep.
It's a 5-spoke wheel. I feel like a Jeep is meant to have like a 5-spoke design on it. Like it's 5-lug, 5-spoke, it just works.
Yep.
I feel like that's the wheel for it.
And whether you want the 17s or you want 22s, like there's an option really for everybody.
So then branching off of that, going from the Rockstar 1 to the Moto Metal 970s, what we'd probably say is the second most like influential wheel, it's a big difference. It's not anywhere near the same design,
not anything close.
Nothing. This one had a lip. It came in 20s, 20x12s even. Running a 12 wide, oh my Lanta, that was not something you should be doing.
When these wheels came out,
out,
yeah, that wasn't the thing. Like then it was 20x10 is your really huge sizes. Then other wheel companies started coming out on the market and doing the 12 wides, and then Moto Metal was offering that 12 wide wheel for a much lower price than everybody else was. Since then, they've like grown their brand and just increased their awareness, and they have come up in price a little bit, but they're still one of the more affordable wheels on the market.
For the designs you get especially. Good looking designs.
And when it comes to like black and milled Moto Metal 970, you can literally put it on anything. And I think it made the black and milled look really popular. They started throwing the rivets on the rim of the wheel, which now people are like saying, we don't really want that, but it was in for years, and there's still plenty of wheel companies doing it and plenty of people running it. So the Moto Metal 970 really just had a big impact on wheel styles for the time period. And really the whole
modernized it. They cleaned up like the designs.
It wasn't the plastic spokes you could pull off now. It was more of that deep lip, straight spoke, and they continue to do it with different different wheels in the Moto Metal lineup, like the 962 and all that stuff.
Yeah, and we're not even sure. I would assume that the 962 came out before the 970. So if you're sitting here watching and asking, well, why haven't they talked about the 962? Why are they talking about the 970 instead? For the longest time, the 970 actually held more sales. Yeah. Even though we thought the 962 was more popular, the 970 has been in the number 1, 2, 3 spot for longer than the 962 has, which has always been interesting because the 962 I feel like is the most popular. But
the 970 has been selling better, and it's been like literally in the top 5, I would say, for at least 3 years, 5 years.
It's been a while, I don't know.
It's been a long time. So they've been holding that one strong. So again, that's another one that just kind of changed how people do wheels.
Yeah.
So number 3 then, we're gonna pick the American Force Blade. Now this wheel we had a really hard time picking which American Force, because American Force was basically the first, I think, name in forged wheels that really was super popular. Like you had Weld back in the day, that was making forged wheels. But when American Force came out, they really modernized, I think, the styling, and then the blade obviously did a really good job of that. It was Blade, Octane, and Independence, I think, were the top 3 that we were looking at. And they're all relatively similar in style. It's just whether you add the twist in the spokes or not.
And I think what American Force did that a lot of people have taken from then on is like the chrome. They really brought chrome back, even though their wheels are polished.
Right, chrome.
Whether you're going with a polished wheel or a cast wheel, the shiny silver or whatever you want to call it. They really like brought that back home, and like that's, I feel like everyone has kind of branched off of that then. Like a lot of the Ford, or the cast companies, have taken American Force's ideas and styles and what they see as popular, because everyone's like, bro, I want to put Forces on my truck.
Yeah.
You'll put Hostiles or something else that's like
that looks similar to an American Force. And that's like kind of the start of the mall crawler phase too, when everybody started spending $4,000 to $6,000 on wheels. You're not going to take them off-road. We actually, Ben Felix, I mean, he took his off-road, but you know, most people who are buying Forces don't take them off-road. They do go to the mall. It's a show truck. That's why people buy polished wheels, so you can show it off. It's really like just an awesome accessory that really makes your truck stand out, because when you polish a fully forged wheel to a mirror finish, that's just, it stands out. People know if you got Forces, you got Forces.
So jumping back to cast wheels, then the next one up that we'd say was probably one of the big influential ones was the Hostile Sprocket. And Hostile as a company as a whole, essentially. I mean, a lot of what they did was come up with designs that were very unique, very new, and completely their own. You can look at that wheel and just know that that's a Hostile wheel. And that in itself kind of set them apart. They priced themselves higher. They like held a higher end feel to their brand, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And they just had the finishes that they were doing with the wheels, whether it was black or chrome. The chrome wheels especially, they did a really good job at making it look like a forged wheel, and they're one of the first companies to give you the directional styling. Now, they weren't actually directional, meaning one side, you know, faced one way and the other side faced the opposite direction, but they still had that twisted pattern that a lot of the forged wheels had. So you're still getting that look that you wanted, just, you know, not true, and you're still spending way less money than if you actually bought forged wheels. So Hostile did a really good job of that, and like I mentioned before, just the finish quality, I think, is what really set them apart, and being they're one of the first companies to offer 12 wides and then jump up to 14 wides and so on.
The aggressive sizes, the 2214s, as soon as that was popular, they came out with that. And now they have a forged lineup too, you know, so they're right there competing with the big boys. They've got all the designs, the styles, they've got the forged market, the cast market. They've basically got something for anything you'd want, as long as you're looking for like the mall crawler styling.
And they're staying on top of it too. We just saw on social media, and they actually reached out to us and said, hey, we've got some big things coming, wait for it. And we're like, please tell us. And they said we have to wait till everybody else. But they are now also releasing their own true directional wheel lineup. So
with their cast wheels?
Yes.
Yeah,
so they're coming out.
Deal.
It's a huge deal, because they had it on forged, obviously, just like every forged wheel company does. But now they've got cast wheels for that lower price that are going to still look exactly like the forged wheels. And I mean, now really with their finish quality, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of competition for those forged guys.
Yeah.
What the f was that?
I don't know.
I wish it was really loud so that we could just do the old like.
Oh, don't put it by your ear.
It smells weird. So while we're on the topic of directional wheels, this rolls perfectly into the most recent, most popular, fastest growing wheel on the market.
All of the titles.
And I'm not trying to brag it up because, spoiler alert, it's the Arkon Lincoln. Okay, yes, we own Arkon. We developed the Lincoln. Yeah, it's really good, great, grand, wow.
But the best part about it is we listened to everything that every person wanted with a wheel.
Yeah.
True directional, cast, hi puppy, no rivets around the rim, endless like lips. The lip just looks like it's
Finished
gigantic.
all the way back.
Chrome, black and milled.
And like, seriously understand that like this isn't a plug for them. We're not trying to push this down your throat. But when you release a wheel, whether it be our company or somebody else's company, when it goes from not even existing to being the #1 seller within 60 or 90 days, like that's kind of a big deal, which is why we keep mentioning it. But again, that cast wheel coming out in the proper directional styling has now influenced other wheel companies to do the same thing, which we're totally okay with. We want everybody to make the best looking wheels possible. So like Hostile coming out with it, like all the other people that are also doing the same thing, good for them. It doesn't bother us at all. So those are the top 5 wheels that we think influence the truck market. If you guys have any other recommendations, or there's one that stands out in your mind as being very influential over the course of history, that's not a big piece of stone or a wagon wheel, we'd love to hear your comments. You can drop them below. Otherwise, check out Wheels, Tire, Suspension at CustomOffsets.com.
And subscribe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I threw the piece in there way too soon.
Subscribe, youtube.com, CustomOffsetsTV.
Yeah, peace. You might be wondering, how do we link up audio and videos? And the best way is to have one solid clap, unless the other guy in your video just doesn't do it.
Got him. There it is.
Caught him.